Anywhere you want it, that's the way you need it. Anywhere you want it. We love to dance. We love to sing. We answer questions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of the Secondary Heroes podcast. This week, in our listener-centric episode, we get to answer your questions that you've been sending in. And this is your host, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
Hey, guys, this is Prague.
This is Josh.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This is Delorean Wolfgang. That's it.
Great singing.
Oh, thanks, man. I know that I didn't sing like that during the pre-show. I probably should have hit the high notes, kind of like Steve Perry. But you know what? I'm all right. I'm all right with doing more of the yelly one.
You got the hair, at least, for those who aren't watching on YouTube. It's
This
fantastic. Use Farrah Fawcett hairspray for that stuff, or what?
No, this is natural. It's sweat because I was on my bike today and I haven't showered yet. Can't wait till this is done so I can shower. Hey!
We'll make this a 2-hour episode then. Perfect.
Oh, God, no, that'll put us almost at midnight. Good Lord, let's not do that.
Let's not.
So, what are you doing?
What are
Other than
you
Pelotoning.
doing?
What are you doing? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm stuck at home, so I ain't doing much of anything.
Oh, by the way, we've got a special guest, Josh, here.
Oh, hey, Josh.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome back, buddy. How you been?
I'm doing good, just working from home,
Same.
working at work, so back and forth.
Working at work.
Working
Can't
and
get
working.
better than that.
Yeah, and,
Are you
Well,
catching up?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you catching up on anything? It's been a few weeks because you saw you, Josh.
yeah, I mean, trying to watch as much entertainment as possible. I mean, now that we can't go to the movies,
Bummer.
it's kind of tough.
Are
But
you
luckily
watching
there's
what? Are you,
a lot of good,
are you
there's a lot of
watching
good TV shows.
Netflix?
Yeah, a lot of TV shows to catch up on,
dude. Yeah. I can't wait to start that Ozarks. And with my intro, the whole, hey, you cool cats and kittens, obviously, if you're not watching Tiger King, get on it. I'm only in episode 2, and it is very strange. So I would love to hear what everybody else has to say about that show. But the memes are going nuts about it. Sorry, I got to move my mic down for the video because I know there's people who read lips that watch our video. So that's
you have to say it the way Carol Baskin says it. She leans back and is like, "Hey, all you cool cattens and kittens."
Is that how she does it?
She's
Maybe I
very
need
strange.
to rewatch that episode.
Yeah,
Or
she
I'll
does it a
just
few
look up her
times.
YouTube.
You just watch that. I finished it, so go ahead. I highly suggest watching it. It is a trip. It is one of the better documentaries I've ever seen in my life. It's very well made, and you can tell that the filmmakers who went in there to do this had no idea the stuff that they were going to be involved in. They had no idea. They thought they were just going to be filming this crazy guy and these people with big cats. They had no idea all this other stuff they were going to dig up. So it's a trip, man.
Well,
it's worth
I wasn't
it. A lot of
expecting us to
characters.
actually. Yeah, I wasn't expecting us to actually get into the.
No, I won't. I'm
details.
just saying.
But no. But no, it's great because I mean I'm sure we'll keep bringing it up here and there. But
Well, it's nice that Netflix is dropping a lot of really big stuff right now.
my
I don't know if this
God,
was on
right?
purpose or not. Like Ozark season 3, I don't know if that was dropped early or if that was supposed to be dropped now. I forget what their original date was for that. But it seems like they keep dropping more stuff like The Hunt and all these other stuff, all these different platforms now. So
yeah. The Hunt, isn't that over on Amazon Prime?
I think it's on Amazon. Yeah. So it seems like a lot of these places are like, oh well, we're going to save it for later, but might as well do it now while the strike with iron's hot, I guess, right?
Hey, have any of you guys started watching that show Hunters? Is it called Hunters? It's like where the Nazis are like back in the 70s. Like there was this.
Oh, that's an
group of
Amazon
people-
show, right?
Yeah,
I've
that's
not
the
yet.
one that I'm thinking of.
That's a good show. I've heard good things about that show too. I have not started that show yet.
Yeah,
though.
the first episode was an hour and a half. I'm like, damn, dudes.
Woo.
How do you expect me to get into the whole season?
That's a movie, yeah.
Did you watch that first episode or
No, they pushed me away from the time. I need to actually set aside, like, I'm going to watch a movie tonight. And instead I'm going to watch episode 1.
Episode 1. But I mean, I read the description and it seems super interesting. So that's something that I'm gonna look into probably next after Tiger King. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. But anyways, we're not here to talk about all that stuff.
Are we though? I think. Then what are you doing?
Well, no. Well, hold on.
Yeah, listener questions.
If we want to, yeah, I'll talk. Shoot, I've got some interesting things. That whole tiger thing, Tiger King. Turns out that one of the tiger places is right down the street from my parents' house in Tampa. And my mom's been to Big Cat. What is it? Big Cat Rescue? Yeah, Big Cat Rescue out in Tampa. Mom's been there a bunch of times. Mom even knows a bunch of volunteers that go there on a weekly basis. She loves it. She thinks it's great. So,
all right.
My mom had her own things to say about it, which kind of contradicted the documentary.
What you're saying is you should bring her on the show so we can interview her about this.
Ooh, yes. Or we bring in some of my mom's friends who are volunteers.
Oh, all even better.
The whole ensemble.
Bring on Carol Baskins, please. If you can bring her on, that would be fantastic. Excuse me, Carol, did you kill your husband? Well.
Oh.
Exclusive.
Our exclusive here on Secondary Heroes. Anyway.
That plenty of times.
Oh, yeah. But no, it's exciting that it's that close to where she lives. That's interesting enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've passed by. I mean, since high school, or not since high school, but I mean, I've always seen it. I've passed by it many times, and it's always been interesting. I've never known what was back there. It just was a big sign that said Big Cat Rescue, and it is covered in shrubbery, like you can't see past the front fence. It just has a big sign, and I was like, maybe I'll go in there one day, maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna see after I'm done with this show if it's something that I do want to go in and see. But
I mean, I think it's worth it for the show's sake, at least, just to see a famous landmark from the show.
Yeah,
but else to see the cats, I guess.
The one thing that I'm not really caring about is I feel like they're really glorifying this like hillbilly guy who breeds cats to sell, and it's like, dude, it just, I don't know, that type of stuff isn't cool.
You haven't finished the series.
I haven't finished the series. But I mean, even like some of the other characters, they know what they're doing. They're breeding cats to.
Well, that's the thing about this show is it has great characters. Like these are real people, but they like are better than some of the written characters on shows. Like these are amazing people. Not in great ways. Like, they're not good, not all good people. Some are decent, but.
Which could be a fun episode if we decide to cast that show with actual actors. And maybe that's just a fun idea for like other documentaries and stuff that we've seen. So I don't know. Maybe we keep that open, but that would be a lot of fun.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know if you want to see that.
That's a great future idea.
Hold on, maybe we edit that
making notes.
Making notes, editing.
We're keeping that in there like swimwear, baby.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, man. So is there anything else that you guys have started watching or anything like that since the last time we talked?
Josh?
McMillions. McMillions is what I'm currently watching.
What is that about?
I think I'm on the fourth episode. So this is about the whole Monopoly game and McDonald's conspiracy that there was fraud being done by a group of people to where winners were actually handpicked by this outside group of people. There was somebody that worked inside the
inside job,
the company that was making the stickers. So they were dispersing them to people they knew, and then working out deals to where they would get some of that money. So
maybe that'll make me, if I watch that'll make me think twice of playing the Monopoly game through Vons and Albertsons and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. It's very it's very interesting because it makes you second guess, like, you know, how legitimate are these contests? These
I've always like you never see
yeah.
Right, you never see people post on Twitter or anything saying, "Hey, I just won $1 million from Vons." You never see that.
Well, that's the thing now. It's like you know, now with social media being as big as it is, you would assume you would see that a lot more often than it was like in the past. In the past, I mean, people didn't have access to, you know, sharing it on some type of website or something like that, or on TV. So I think it would be a lot more difficult to get away with it today to do that, because I mean, without people knowing that it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the cool thing too is like for instance, one of our giveaways, and I hope that later on for more of our giveaways, I hope people start posting pictures like this because, shoot, that proves that we're doing stuff, we're sending stuff out.
I like the for example transition from McMillions to our giveaways. That was
For
classic.
example, how we do it.
Do it like us. Yeah.
So that's on HBO, Josh?
Yeah, it's HBO.
Okay.
Ooh, you've got
Yeah.
HBO there.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Speaking
But
of
don't-
HBO, since we last talked, I did finish Westworld season 2, and
Is
I
it-
enjoyed it. I don't know what anybody's
Thank
talking
you.
about. It felt like a transition from season 1, but it felt like it just emphasized more AI progression, human understanding, what it means to be human, and that whole fight between everybody. I mean, there's the whole Bernard unreliable narrator time manipulation of memories thing, but you can follow it along clearly enough.
Nice.
Not that hard. Now,
Well-
question for you: did you stick around for the after credits, the very last scene that
The
happened?
one
at the
with
end of...
Ed Harris?
Yes.
That's
No
the one that
spoilers,
didn't
but-
make any sense. That's the only
Right.
sequence that didn't make any sense of the whole thing.
There's so many theories online about that scene. It's insane. I have no
Well-
idea what that scene means.
But
Anyway,
does
it's not gonna
does
say-
it carry over? Does it carry over to season 3?
In season 3, I have not seen Ed Harris's character yet,
Okay.
but I'm only 2 episodes in. So apparently he's in the next episode, according to the previews. I have not watched the previews. I don't like to watch previews of next episodes. That's just how I am.
Oh, really? Oh,
So-
dude, it gets
That's
me
a good idea not to.
super.
It kind of spoils
No,
a
there's
little
too
bit.
many
I just-
spoilers.
Oh,
I
it
do-
gets me so jazzed, man. It
I
gets
do
me
feel
pumped.
so. I do feel like this new season though is going to be probably the most. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are not going to like this as much. But I think it's going to be my favorite episode, favorite season. So I'm into the whole cyberpunk kind of noir type future world stuff. I really love it. Like I love AI. I love the idea of like what does it mean to be human? Like all the philosophical stuff. I mean, I don't know. That's my thing. That's my jam. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
100% with you right there.
Don't want to spoil too
Like
They're
when I'm
almost dead.
watching, I'm like, man, when are we gonna get to the level of AI that's in Westworld, or even attempts to be like not like human fleshed out versions, but even robots that could at least have some type of conversation with you at this level.
Right.
Well,
We're not quite
the-
there yet.
What is it? That Boston Dynamics, they just posted a video of where they were in like 2009 with one of their like dog robots to where they are now with their dog robot, and the dog robot's climbing upstairs and doing backflips off the trapeze or whatever and doing all this crazy stuff. And then in like 2009 it was like one foot in front of the other. We can do this. We can do. I mean, the fact that in 10 years they were able to do something as big as that, I mean, things are going
Well,
pretty fast, man.
It's kind of like the Spider-Man robot they're building
For
with the
Disney,
Imagineers that can actually not land on guests and do the whole
We heard
Spider-Man flips and pull the landings off.
Well, it's not going to land on guests because no one's going to be at the park. So
Eventually, see,
Maybe.
this gives them more time to work.
maybe there you go. Maybe they'll eventually have a Dolores at the park. That'd be great.
Oh,
I would
wow.
love to see that. in
Or
real life.
like instead of Abraham Lincoln just standing up out of his chair and talking, he walks
Freaky,
around the
like-
stage. Ooh, that would be weird, man.
Yes.
Well, and the whole like, I mean, you know how they made the Abraham Lincoln at Disney, right?
Right. We watched that episode on
Yeah.
Disney
Where-
Plus.
Where they took the death mask. Oh man, that's still as bizarre. You're actually looking at dead Abraham Lincoln on stage.
Yep. It's great.
And then shout out to Disney Plus. I did watch the Three Caballeros yesterday because I'm going back and watching every Disney
Hey.
animated movie from Snow White to the present.
Wow.
It's pretty fun when you're in the 40s where World War II interrupted production of everything. So they have these weird anthology series that are just like mashed to music and various animated experiments.
Oh,
So it's fun to see them.
I don't remember. I
It
mean,
takes till 1951 till we get back to Cinderella and Peter Pan and all the usual
Gotcha.
ones.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Song
one.
of the South is next, which I'm excited. Oh, it's not on Disney.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, I'm like,
darn.
how are you gonna watch that? How can anybody watch
I have
Song
no
of the South?
idea. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Right? Maybe on the deep web or something.
Super
God.
dark web. And so that's enough of what we're doing. It's time, like we promised at the outset, listener questions.
What?
First is from Mark Rosario at Hey MR or M Rosario on Twitter.
That guy.
If you were a mobile app, existing or new, what app would you be, and what special feature would your app have?
Tinder. Oh no, sorry. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Huh.
Yeah, let's start with you, Prague. Since
No, I don't know. Oh, geez. What would be something that we would use that's pointless?
that's like looking through my apps right now, going, hey, all right.
An app that you would use, like, I don't know.
Josh, do you have an idea of what
I'll try this one. So for me, I think Spotify, because I love listening to music. I think for me,
good one.
A special feature though added to that, maybe, you live stream live music, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
So
I like that idea.
added to it, something like that, something with Instagram mixed in with Spotify. So, but
Actually, a buddy of mine last night, he put on his Spotify and did a live stream of him pretty much dancing in front of his camera for about an hour. And I'm like, well, I guess people are watching this.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nothing
I'll
else to
give
do.
this a try.
I think a lot of it too is because just like yesterday, who was it? iHeart had their music festival online, so it's just kind of, it brings us to thinking how we can still utilize that today going forward, since everything's going on right now. Is that something we can still continue to do going forward?
Online
So I could see Spotify. I know kind of going on a tangent here, but Spotify can utilize that opportunity to. I know they give you live events. Well, now they could put their events on their apps with the artists using their platform instead.
That's
There you
true.
go.
Yeah. Well, and people would watch that. Shoot. If you go, I know that I've mentioned my VR goggles before. You can watch concerts from the front row putting your VR goggles on. If like an app like Spotify or even Pandora were to do something similar, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a good call, Josh. All right.
Well, I've got a pretty easy app. I would probably be the camera app.
That's true,
come
you
on,
are.
that's kind of my living.
Yeah, I like
all
that.
I do
All right,
is
that works.
camera.
That works.
Yeah, I've got a camera in my hand for the most part everywhere I go. So I don't know what I would do to change it though, but what kind of special feature? I don't know. Come back to
More
me on that one.
Snapchat filters to the camera app.
Oh my God! If I could do the
That'd
whole
be pretty
big
good.
mouth, big eyes, and small nose, I love that. That one's my favorite one.
Good idea.
I might post more of doing those because I love those. They're hilarious. How about you, Trevor?
I'm thinking of the Notes app just because I'm boring like this.
That is for sure. That is on the nose.
But I got notes and then they're synced up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
great.
And I catalog and categorize everything in my brain with all this worthless knowledge.
You should take a picture of the notes that you're writing on your whiteboard right now and post that. So people would go, hey, he is the Notes app.
He is the Notes app.
I don't know how to add special features to the Notes app. It pretty much does everything. It terribly syncs when you're trying to send notes to other people.
Oh,
It dictates too, right?
but does it do cursive? Let's add that.
That's
I
not a
think it might.
special feature for me.
No, huh?
I guess they didn't teach cursive.
I need better handwriting recognition or capabilities with my finger. Because I'll always find it easier for me to write on the whiteboard than type in the Notes app. That's why I use the whiteboard desk.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I keep a pen and an envelope next to me to keep my notes. Prague, have you thought about yours?
I was gonna say the iFart app, but that's kind of too on the nose.
Oh my God, that is totally on
That's
the
all
nose.
you.
Good Lord.
We can leave that as is.
Yep.
Good.
Let's move on. Next
No
question.
special features either.
You can actually smell it.
You can actually
No.
smell it from the app.
That Hot Topic at Universal City Walk is closed down because of Frog.
Oh, it did. You don't know that, but yeah.
That was
it's
my
being
own
condemned.
coronavirus.
They actually had to burn it down. That was a bad idea. They should not have burnt it. They should have done something else. Bad idea.
Yeah, folks. If you listen closely, you can hear Prague in his room tooting away. Let's move on. What's another question that we can get to?
So next listener question comes from Ed Pogue at Buttwasted on Twitter and Instagram. He asked, "Do you have a celebrity man crush?"
Oh.
Boys, who wants to take the lead on this one? Fine, I will.
Not everybody at once.
Hey, I'm secure with my sexuality. I don't mind. I would definitely say Okay, nope. I'm gonna skip that story. Let's go.
Oh no! You can't say that.
I would say Ryan Reynolds. How can anybody not love Ryan Reynolds?
That was
the guy's
damn.
The guy's great in everything. Hey, you had the choice to go first, man. You had the choice to go first. But I mean, it's the symmetrical face. It has to be.
Mhm.
So how about you, Josh? Who's your man crush?
I think he's awkward to look at. Not Josh, sorry. I meant.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Prague.
What? Timing, Prague.
Hey, Prague. All right.
Unfortunate face. Kirsten.
It is. I'm sorry.
Wait, who's
I
got
fall
an
in the same
unfortunate
category as
face?
her now, I guess.
Ryan Reynolds. I don't get it.
Are you kidding me?
He's a
I
good guy. And he's
he
fun.
is a good-looking guy. That's why I'm really interested to hear who Prague chooses.
Frog's gonna pick some like.
Fabio. No. Go ahead, Josh. Go.
For me, yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Are you looking at a list of men right now?
Yeah, he's all like.
I'm thinking of maybe Stephen Amell Arrow, because I've been binging Arrow, so I guess.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah, I mean he seems like a cool guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have a man crush on him.
There you go.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
You could have just said Thanos. I wouldn't have cared.
What a good question, Ed.
What a great question.
You're making these guys feel uncomfortable for some reason.
I'm not uncomfortable. This is great. I want to hear your story. But anyways.
I don't have a story.
Oh, you said you had a story. Sorry.
I'm still waiting for your man crush, man. Come on. People are waiting at home.
Mine's Lee Pace. Easy.
Lee Pace?
Lee Pace. So if you watch, I almost said Burn After Reading. What was the one he was on about computers? Halt and Catch Fire. Watch that show. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a handsome fella.
Oh yeah.
Yep, you're
Pushing
right.
Daisies in his prime. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a handsome fella. Oh, he was in Driven. He played John DeLorean.
There you go.
Wow.
Good idea.
Fun.
I have to watch
if
it.
The fans have not seen the movie Driven, it's actually pretty interesting. You don't actually get to see a DeLorean until pretty much the very end. So, yeah. But it's all about the story of John DeLorean, which I think is kind of... it's still a good movie. I enjoyed it. But it was all about DeLorean, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Nice.
All right, Trevor. Did you have one that was outside of Ryan?
So my secondary man crush.
Yeah, secondary man crush.
I go with The Rock just so he could hold me in his big, massive arms.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Interesting choice. All right.
That's a good choice. All right, dude. Thank you, Butt Wasted, for your question.
Oh my God.
Ed Pogue. Awesome.
It's a great question, Ed.
That came from Facebook. If you're not if you don't follow us on Facebook, give us a follow over there. We pretty much post
Sometimes
all the time. Yeah.
all the time there.
Yeah, we're posting. We're starting to post more. I'm gonna make more of an effort to post on Facebook more often. Same with Instagram. Instagram needs to get more love too. So, yeah, cool. All right, Trevor. So what's next?
Do you want to ask this question?
I sure will, because this comes from my lovely, lovely wife.
Ah.
Her name's Stacy, and she asks, if you could change the end outcome of any favorite movie / comic book character, who would it be, how, and why? That's a heavy question. It's a great question. Fellas, take it away, because I still need to think.
I like this one.
It's almost like that show on YouTube, like, how it should have ended.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Yeah. But that's more of a comedy show, like goofing on it.
Like for me, I'll go obvious, because it's the only one that I can really think of that I've actually thought about in the last year, has been like how Star Wars should have ended. Like the entire saga that we've been watching was kind of veering more toward like the end. Like I really wish it would have been at the end of the Jedi and the Sith. Like that, the whole idea of the two separate religions would be done with. There would be a complete balance, like it's mentioned, and anyone could have the Force in any different way. It would have been a whole different way of using the Force. Something different. I don't know what specifically, but it would have been a complete demolishing of the idea of Sith versus Jedi. Everyone is kind of gray. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
that way no one's like special. It's not like just that one special or a handful of special people that can create a council or the rule of two. It's none of that stuff anymore. It's like, yeah, some broom kid from a farm can become, a Force user, and maybe they can use it for good or bad, and there really isn't, some rules to it. It's just whatever you decide to do with it, Anyways, that's kind of the first one. I'll have more, I'm sure, but that's the first thing that popped into my head.
How about you, Trevor? You got one?
Well, I like Progs a lot. I mean, JJ ran out of time, but that's what he wanted to do with Rey, saying that she was a Skywalker, and Skywalker is the new thing, or it's not a Jedi or a Sith, it's just a Force user. But sadly, he ran out of time, or Disney said no, or whatever happened to create that. And so, for me, I would have to say Hedwig not dying in the 5th book. Jeez, what is J.K. Rowling doing? Just kick her. I mean, jeez, she's like, no. Okay.
Yeah, rip. Pour one out for Hedwig.
How about you, Josh?
Wow.
For me,
Best character, okay? You could kill Harry or Hermione or Ron or Neville or the whole cast, the whole damn school. It could blow up, but keep the owl alive.
Just the owl left.
I've thought about this a little bit. Is Endgame. It should have, to me, I feel like they had it right, Infinity War, the way it ended.
Yep,
so
and they should have cut it off there.
With Endgame, they should have had Thanos still prevailing, even with his even with the heroes or the Avengers. Maybe a couple of them survived, maybe the young ones, so then they could start up a new one and still, I guess, avenge the deaths of all these older Avengers to try to defeat Thanos again.
I like that idea, actually.
I think too, because I see how long this hiatus is going with an Avengers or Marvel film. To me, it would have made me more, and it made me anticipate it even more to see the next group of Avengers come together.
That's a good point. It could be the new Avengers. We could have been like, okay, that's kind of what they do in the comics nowadays versus when this story was originally written. Anyone could get the Infinity Gauntlet and bring people back to life. Whereas nowadays, it's more like, oh no, let's do the reset button. Let's have these characters actually die and move on. They did that with the X-Men, which worked really well in my opinion. It didn't seem to sell as well, unfortunately, but I really liked that idea. It's like, oh, we get new teams now and new characters, and death has consequences. People stay dead, that would have been really good. I think that would have given them a structure to work off of moving forward.
Imagine if Endgame, Thanos says, I'm inevitable. He snaps, and then we see directed by the Russo brothers, and that's it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's no Tony comeback. It's the whole exact movie just to write that point. Done.
I'm not going to lie. I love it. My problem is that's where I was going. So now I'm having to backtrack and think of something
Oh
else.
no.
I really would have rather had Thanos win and see a whole new.
What happened?
Yeah. Anyways.
Right.
Yeah, because I liked how Infinity War ended, just because it in the sense that the comic book people, or not so much comic book people, like the moviegoers that were following these comic book movies, it flipped their world upside down when they saw that the good guys didn't prevail. To be able to have them hold on to that, I guess, emotion for a while until the next one comes out, or the next, I guess, team up, to see them fight a big bad.
They go, wait, they might die. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
So I mean, it just kind of allows them to, I guess you could say, just have that cliffhanger for them for quite a while.
Nice. Yeah,
Very nice.
That's a good one, man. All right, this one means a lot to me. And I really wish, anyways, it's from Dumb and Dumber. The very end of Dumb and Dumber
I was like,
means
Back to
a
the
lot
Future,
to me.
but okay.
Back to the Future. I was like, which
The
one?
very end of Dumb and Dumber, the bus pulls up, and all these bikini models pop out and say, "We need 2 oil boys," and they go, "The town's about that way," and then they're like, "No, what are you doing?" And then they run, "The town's actually that way. Just get on the bus." I wanted them to get on the bus so bad. That would have made the sequel so much better. I know, it was such a weird answer, but it was the first thing that I could think of. It bothers me so much.
That'll be out of character for them.
Do you realize what you've done? Oh, it's so good. Yeah. There you go. And
But she
you know
also
what?
asked about character, though, right? Like if you can change a character.
If I could have changed the character's outcome,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanos would have never died.
Okay.
That's all I could really think of. I mean, or any movie that has a dog, the dog will never die. There you go. I don't want dogs to die. That's the worst. It makes me cry every time.
I don't know. I mean, I hate that too, but it really works well for the water, for the tears. You know, the waterworks, and for story narratives. I know.
What a... Sorry that my answer wasn't as good as y'all's, but
It's funny at least.
Yeah, some of the old Disney movies have these super abrupt endings, like Pinocchio. They could have ended it where Pinocchio dies, like he's face down in like water after he saves Geppetto.
Something, right? Okay.
And they should just leave Pinocchio dead.
Oh my god,
It would
I
mean
haven't
more.
seen that movie since I was 5.
There was a movie that not many people watched. It was called AI. It was Steven Spielberg's movie.
Oh
Hard pass.
god, with the
Right?
kid.
So that movie, I mean, obviously a lot of things could have been better about that movie. I mean, you can't have Steven Spielberg.
Bad.
No, it was fine. It just was really long.
I actually liked it.
No, I enjoyed aspects of it a lot, but here's my thing. I would have changed it to where it wouldn't have had the stupid happy ending that it had.
Oh.
It would have ended the way it did in the book. Like he went to the bottom of the ocean and was trying to pray to the angel. Like, just have that be the end of the movie. Have it just fade away. You know, that was the tragedy of the film. But no, of course, happy endings. That's Spielberg for you. So
It's interesting that you say that, though. I don't know. I feel like for people like me, I feel like I needed that ending. I needed that, like, I needed
the
it.
ending.
Alex
You would
is
hate-
Joe
you would hate
Average, who
David Lynch.
they need to
Oh,
make
God.
movies for.
Right?
That's right.
Yes.
I'm a normie, bro. And that's the thing. They make movies for me.
There's a
Not
lot
for
of happy
you.
endings that I would turn into darker things. Like the new Godzilla movies all like
Same
paint him as the
thing.
hero, but the old ones, I would just have Godzilla kill thousands of people movie ends.
Oh, it'd be great.
Oh, wow.
I'm rooting for
Yes.
Godzilla 100 times out of 100.
Yes. God, that'd
Wow.
be great. I'm on board. Sign me up for
I
those films.
say we move on from this.
What? This is great. Let's talk about
The
more
thoughts
happy endings we can
reflections
change.
of Trevor do not reflect.
That might be a
the
future
secondary heroes.
podcast episode, turning
Done.
happy endings.
I like it.
Well, we're only halfway through, not even halfway through the questions. We've got a lot more questions
All
coming.
right, next one.
Yeah, let's hit the
So
next.
this comes from Alex Zavala. What new talents have you discovered since being stuck at home?
being stuck at home. God, we've been stuck at. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but But what? We're at 10 days at home so far.
Roughly, yeah.
I think it's 14 days.
So far? Oh my God.
We went Monday to Monday to Monday.
Oh, I didn't start Monday. I started on Friday before.
Oh.
So Friday to Monday. Okay.
And that's what happens. That's how you get exponential growth, because there's no uniform process.
Yep.
Oh.
Anyways, so what have we discovered?
Well, I have 2 whiskey barrels in the back of in my backyard, and I decided to knock one of them over, and I stood up on it and started walking around the backyard on top of a barrel. I didn't know I could do that. And then my wife
Hold on, you know what? That sounds like a barrel of fun.
Oh
my God.
Yep.
I had to stop you for this thing. Continue.
For those I swear, Trevor, what does your brain look like? Because your eyes were rolling so hard in the back of your head. So yeah, as I'm walking around my backyard on this barrel, my wife goes, "Hey, do a handstand."
Oh,
okay, I'll try that. So I started trying doing handstands, and I'm getting better and better every day.
Nice.
So, yeah. So now I'm playing around on this barrel in my backyard.
That's handstanding, sir. I like it.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
That one was forced.
Whoa. That was a little forced. I'm sorry. I apologize.
How about you guys?
You deserve better. That I'm lazier than I thought? I don't know. Honestly, I think so. I think I've done less. I think the fact that I don't have to go anywhere has stopped me from doing some of the things that I would have normally done. So I'm just like, I don't know what day of the week it is.
Do you feel like you're like saving money at the end of the day, though?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I really enjoy that whole thing about staying home. Is I'm not spending money on gas. I'm not like
spending money on Comic-Cons. I'm not spending money on going to stores to buy stuff.
So true.
Sorry,
man.
Flights, hotels, and exclusives, and
putting all that money into toilet paper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still have the same amount of toilet, but I've got a bidet. I know. I've talked about my bidet before. Okay.
We should have a web series with you called Day Bidet.
Day Bidet.
That actually is good.
Should do that. Day Bidet with Alex Tights.
Let's just say my wife is sick of me talking about our bidet, so
well, it's gonna be
I do talk about it a lot. So. How about you, Josh?
Jeez, I
Solid.
guess I don't know. Learn how to search things on TikTok now. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. Like,
I don't know. I'm
hey.
addicted. I've been watching TikTok too much. To be
Dark
honest.
web searches.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, besides still work, because like I feel like my days are still the same, except for I can't go like to stores and stuff like that. But I've been spending a lot more time on my phone and computer, just researching stuff. So I guess I don't know, feeling like I'm back in school researching different things. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. There you go. You're becoming smarter.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
How about you, Trevor?
I guess I'd never realized how much of a pack rat I was until I started like, I have all this time at home. I'm going to clean up everything. And so that was a terrible idea.
You're finding stuff from when you were in the 2nd grade.
It's like I have 30 years of stuff that I've kept. And I guess my new talent is that I've finally been able to get rid of it. So now everything's clean.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Most of the stuff I have, I've gotten in like the past 5 years.
Wow. You know what's funny is it's out of all the stupid stuff that people post about their day and stuff like that, whenever I get done vacuuming my house, I would love to post a picture of my house fully vacuumed and be like, wow, look at this. Look at this. But, people post stupid stuff, and I guess that's just not one.
Yeah.
Well, good question, guys.
And so this one comes from Deathstroke. He says, if you could hop in the DeLorean and go back in time, what would you do?
Oh,
That might have been edited for podcast purposes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was edited a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay.
Because you can
How
go
about
anywhere,
guys?
backwards or forwards, right?
Go backwards or
Wait,
forwards.
I said go back in
To
time.
the
We're,
future.
we're,
That's true.
Oh, you
we're,
just said
we're,
said back
we're,
in
we're
time.
breaking this.
I was like,
This
where
is
did
a
I miss it? I missed
specific
something.
Yeah, you gotta
Back
go
in time.
It's one of those things I do think about a lot, and I just have too many answers for. So I gotta think of the best one, I guess.
Let's go, Alex.
Um,
You have a DeLorean. What have you already done?
Well, shoot, man. Like one of the questions or one of the things I've always said, and this is one of those questions that I get a lot. I would love to go back in time and like meet my parents when they were young, before not so much like Marty McFly did, like at least when my parents were married and like maybe when my mom was pregnant with me or something. I would like to go back in time and I don't know, just see who they were before they had me. I don't know. I've always found that fascinating.
can you imagine watching yourself being born and being there and delivering
No.
yourself?
No, I can't imagine watching myself being born.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's a very strange thing to watch. But like, I wouldn't mind going back and meeting me as a
That's not
one-year-old.
an eyebrow raising thing at all, bro.
But I would love to go back and meet myself as a 1-year-old, or even like a 5-year-old. Be like, dude, you're gonna have a
Dude.
sweet car when you grow older. You're gonna live in California.
I saw myself
California.
as a kid. I would like kick myself off a cliff and see if me dying as a kid would erase me now.
That is
That
probably
is-
the darkest
wow,
thing
bro.
you've ever said on this podcast.
Oh wow.
I mean, would I disappear? Would I not? I want to find out. I want to see if that theory holds true.
We
Hey,
need a
Brock.
movie where any actor just goes back in time and kicks a little self off a cliff to see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
After we're done recording, if you want to just like talk, man, I'm here for you, buddy. You just need to vent anything, buddy.
It's getting a little dark there, man.
How about you, Josh?
I'd probably go somewhere down the line that you were talking about, DeLorean, but more with like my dad's dad. I never met him, so I think it would be cool to kind of go back in time to actually get to know him. So I mean, kind of even to, like you said, you're meeting your parents when they were kind of doing, I guess, like the Back to the Future type of thing. Just meeting your parents when they were teenagers and stuff like that to see how they were. Because you hear these stories from them, like, what did you actually do that, or are you just kind of just telling me a story?
Right.
So just kind of see how they were. I mean, because then maybe maybe you're like, oh, I was just like that. I was just like that too. So yeah.
Oh, it happens to me every day where I'm like, oh my god, I sound like my dad.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll laugh and I'm like, that was my dad's laugh. Oh no. It's stuff like that. It's so funny. Like, was our grandparents the same way?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I would love to even go back and see like who the first teats to come to this country. Meet that type of those.
Meet the teats.
I like
Great show.
I like that
By
too.
the way, if anybody doesn't know, my last name is Teets, so that's
Yeah,
why
we're
I
not
said
just
the
making
Teets.
fun of
Just
him.
I'm not just saying a word and
I like
saying.
going back and seeing the first teats and just leaving it that.
What were the first ones like?
I like
Is
that,
that like Eve
Alex.
teats?
Though. I like that idea of going back to see, I guess, your ancestry to see where it all, where it's at. That whole line. I think that would be a cool thing because for at least for my family, it's a little hard. There's some roadblocks that we get through. We can't go beyond a certain person to see where we're connected. So
Exactly.
it'd be good to do that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Trevor, I know that you just went through 30 years of stuff in your room, so you kind of already done some time traveling, but
Yeah, I got all that time. I don't really care about my own family unless it's
Like the
way
same
back.
way.
Like way back. Like, that time where the aliens came and they manipulated monkeys and that created a whole different arcing pathway of stuff. Other than that,
That's true. That's a true theory.
I have this
interesting.
whole coronavirus thing on the head. It would be cool to go back to the bubonic plague time for a real idea of what a pandemic is.
Right. Not a fake.
So hopefully you don't get
one that we're having
infected
it.
when you're doing that traveling.
Well, they have a cure for it now, so you just bring it back with you.
That's true.
You know,
I like
That's
that.
you're
true.
good. And then you wear the whole plague doctor outfit, and you're like, "What up, Rose?" And you just look badass all the time.
Man, you guys are really dark tonight. What is the deal?
Yeah, so for me, I would want to go back to like the Dark Ages, and I want to see what like all these torture devices were in the dungeons and stuff, and see did they actually use them, and what was it like? And like,
Actually,
no, I
I
actually
kinda
want to
like
see
the
them use
idea.
it, like for real.
You going back to the
know,
Dark
like-
Ages and doing the Leonardo da Vinci style, where you just bring your iPhone back, and you're like, "Oh, look how brilliant I am! I'm like this
look how
super inventor
crazy."
guy."
Right? It's like a
Yeah,
god.
but
you're
right
being
when it
worshipped.
runs out of batteries, what are you gonna do?
Just
Bring your
chop them
charger
and
with
DeLorean
you.
and go back. I don't know. Invent something back then. But yeah, I would like to like. Oh god, I would do such evil stuff, man. Oh my god. I would
What is
like.
wrong with you people? I'm starting to second guess this whole
I
podcast.
would like.
thing.
I would like go back in time and disprove all the religions of the world and like bring that
Oh my
evidence
God.
back. And I would go back to the time of like the dinosaurs and see like what would they really look like? Because I want to know what they really look like. Like, did they have feathers?
That's actually pretty fun.
They totally had feathers.
Right?
They even have like they found one recently that the feathers were actually preserved with the bones and everything. So I mean they totally had feathers.
I want to see them.
Yeah, go back to that that Simpsons episode where Homer he uses the toaster to go back in time, and he
Yes.
accidentally kills a bug, and it changes
Great.
everything.
The butterfly
Yeah.
effect. Great episode. Good time.
I wish I didn't squish that fish.
Yes.
Great Ashton Kutcher movie. Love that movie.
No,
Really?
that's a movie with a sad ending.
I liked that
surprised.
movie.
Like, how do you like the movie with the saddest ending in history?
What?
Have you not watched the movie? Do you not remember the movie? Did
I
you stop
love
halfway
that
through or something? That's fine. I'm just saying, I'm surprised you like a movie with the saddest ending. But hey, okay.
I don't think it's got a saddest ending. It's the ending that was supposed to happen.
Okay.
You ever
think I
seen My
watched
Dog
different-
Skip? That was a sad ending.
That movie. Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
Marley and Me? That's a sad ending.
Old Yeller. Yeah, we know. All right.
Exactly. Shall I continue?
We can talk about all those movies. But anyways, next question.
Next question.
so this comes from Steph, aka at the Stephville, and she
Steph.
says, if you had to trade collections, including all collectibles, even cars, with another secondary hero, who would you trade with and why? And also, you can't sell their collection.
I don't know. Look at Prog's collection. That's pretty minimalist. I like that. I would love to have that.
Frog has like 5 things.
I mean, is she saying what we can see right now?
No, it's
What you can perceive too.
That's
Your
true.
collection doesn't have to be anything. Like it could be autographs and
yeah.
mementos from anything.
I don't know. I mean,
Sure, you guys don't know everything that I have.
Yeah, Prague is old. He probably has stuff that's like really valuable. Like when he was a kid, they had like their first baseball cards ever.
yeah. Or
Original
like,
Star Wars character. action
or
figures?
he's got his World War II bayonet and stuff like that.
Then you never know. And you might need it again.
Well, who's gonna go first? Come on, guys.
Well, I'm gonna choose Trevor's. So I want Trevor's.
Wow,
That's
nice.
That's easy. Yeah.
Even though you can't sell any of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that
Some
he has
pretty
that I
good
want.
stuff.
Yeah.
I know. I would. You know what? I'm gonna choose Trevor as well because I would like to put some trucks on that skateboard and skate around on that banana.
Nice.
Ooh.
Do you want to skate on my banana?
Ooh. No, he's-
good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
You know, if that were a surfboard, it would be a Woody banana.
Oh,
What happened? What's happening?
I really don't want to trade with any of you guys. I love my collection.
Do you? What about Josh?
All my
You
power.
know, I'll choose Alex. I like those White Ranger helmets. I've liked the White Ranger. I never had a helmet, so I guess that'd be pretty cool to have.
Yeah, but then you get my Gators helmet, my Buccaneers helmet. You
That
get
is
my
definitely a negative.
Well, I mean,
my
you have those drawers, so I could actually
poster
put them in
the
there.
background.
Sure, we can put them in the.
You get this broken arcade machine.
That is true. You have
Well,
a
I
lot
haven't
of
even
a lot of
posted
like
pictures of
retro
my
games.
pinball
So
machines. I should do that this week.
What's that?
you get a lot of his camera equipment too. So
That's true.
That's
I
not a
like that.
collection though. That's work.
Yeah.
Everything
you
that you own, we're expanding this question.
Oh,
Yeah.
technically, it's your camera
Oh, your
collection.
house.
wait, with any
Where
of
am I?
y'all.
Your house.
His drone, so it's. there's a lot
Nope,
of
the
stuff
drone is my boss's,
there.
not even mine.
Oh.
Oh, sad.
Oh, never
I
mind.
want the
then.
drone.
I've already hid the drone that you can't get.
You better hope he's not listening to this episode.
Yeah, right? No, I bought one off of them.
Dogs
We've got
too.
like 5 at the office, and so I bought one off of them. So, yeah.
I would love to have your dogs. That'd be great.
Oh, I do got cuties for dogs, don't
Mhm.
I? Little angels. Okay, what's next?
So our last question comes from our buddies over at the Four Dorksmen. We know you guys are all about second place, but if given the chance to be first, would you take it? And Patrick responded with, "Nope, got to stay on brand, second for life." And shout out to him covering our bases.
Hashtag
Whoa.
on brand.
Yeah.
Second place, baby! Pow!
Deuces.
Yeah, we're second place for life. Secondary heroes.
I
Good
think
question.
that covers most of our questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
we did
lot
cover-
of
we did
similar
cover
responses.
A lot of similar questions.
But we have some new ideas for future episodes from these
Oh,
questions, and we might even have new Twitter ideas to keep you guys engaged in between our episodes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So be sure to follow us.
Yeah, Alex.
Am I taking that one?
Yes, sir.
It sounded like you were going for it. Hey, if you like what you're listening to, check us out over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because on YouTube, you get to actually see our faces and our collections for the most part. At Secondary Heroes on all of those social places. For some fun pop culture news, episode drops, secondary interactions with you, our fans. And hey, if you've got questions, we're answering them. So keep sending these questions in. We really like to read them.
And ideas.
And ideas. We're having
Mhm.
fun with this, man. This is a good time. So yeah, check it out on all of our social channels. We love hearing from you guys because honestly, all of this is free for you and it's priceless to us.
There it is.
To everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.
Prog out.
See you.
GameStop deemed itself essential during coronavirus outbreak. That's your clickbait of the week.
Did dinosaurs have teats?
Tune in next week.
Clickbait of the week.